Okay, welcome to Capstone 2021, Dos Caminos. This is our second round of presentations for today. We are very excited to have you here with us and have an audience both live in the room with us as well as you virtually coming in from home. We're going to start with our first presenter, Noland.
Did you know that 7 out of 10 average people have social media accounts, but only 4 out of 10 are addicted to social media? The question on my topic is how your brain gets addicted to social media. Hi, I'm Noland, and the reason I chose this topic was because these days a lot of kids, teens, and even adults are addicted to social media. One question I was wondering while researching was why is it that most kids struggle with this addiction? Well, it turns out that overuse of social sites is more problematic for kids because their social skills are still developing and some are scared to talk. This could mean that in the future they will have hard times conversing with others because they're always texting through their phone. It's hard to really communicate. It shows that kids who use social sites various times end up having bad social skills. Another question I had while researching was how does your brain get addicted to social media? Well, when someone posts something and they get likes, views, and all positive things, it releases the dopamine in your brain to make you want to do it more and more, and then that creates a cycle, which creates an addiction. Um, Oh, have you ever seen a relative who is just glued or stick to their phone and just can't get off? Well, sometimes it can get irritating and you might want to have a conversation with them. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that addiction can get out of hand and it can get serious. If you want to find out more, you can either visit my Padlet or visit different sites to find out more. I just want to say thank you to my teachers and my family for helping me with this topic.
Thank you. Okay, next up we have Amie.
Okay, it's gonna fall off. I'll just hold it. Okay. Hi, my name is Amie Diaz, and my presentation is about COVID-19, also known as coronavirus. What would you do if I asked you? What would you do if I told you that you don't need to wear a mask ever again? How about if I said that you could return to seeing everyone's full faces again? How would you feel? My curious question is, how do all the changes from COVID-19 affect you? I learned about this issue firsthand last March when we all went into full lockdown. You couldn't learn a new handshake with your BFF or high five your teacher when you figured the math problem out. I chose this topic because I want to be able to plan a playdate at the park, or to breathe or blow a bubble without some sort of paper or cloth covering my mouth. I wanted to know the best way not to get sick. Where am I? Oh yeah. Don't you want to play in the backyard with your neighbor without worrying about getting sick? Don't get me wrong, COVID-19 is not some wait. Don't get me wrong, COVID-19 isn't something to play with. It is a serious virus that is easily spread. However, we also don't need to be scared because if you know you're doing the right thing by following the steps, there is nothing to be afraid of. Thank you for watching my presentation.
Okay, next up we have Aaron.
Wait, how do you put this on? Oh, okay. Is this right? All right. In the ocean, there's tons of plastic pollution everywhere, and normal pollution too, and on land as well. But what if we used all that plastic for good use? I'm Aaron, and this is my question. What things are possible to invent and construct with recycled materials? Let's go back to where it all began. Once upon a time in a land known as fourth grade, we had a project. I don't know if any of you guys recall having this project, but it was in the fourth grade back when we had Miss Mariash and Miss Agosto, and when we were in the pandemic lockdown, I believe. And I made a water dispenser, which was something like this, although mine was admittedly sloppier, but all I need to know about it is that I enjoyed it a lot. And so my question needed to be answered, so I began scouting the internet, rummaging through Google and YouTube of all their articles and videos. I will admit, in hindsight, was absolute hard work. But then I remembered that in the old fourth grade project, they showed us a video on this YouTube channel called Coolest Thing that showed us about a man who built Spiral Island, an island floating in Isla Mujeres in Mexico that floats over 100,000 plastic bottles. And so I just discovered this, but unfortunately, this island was destroyed by Hurricane Emily a few years ago, and I was not even aware of this until a few days ago. And then I discovered that he made a new one known as Joxy Island, including many different features that the old things did not, such as having a garden, actually that was in the last one, having a solar-powered waterfall, 2 boats, a wave-powered washing machine, a kitchen, solar panels for electricity, 3 stories tall, and 2 bedrooms. And so after this, I continued to research, and then YouTube, specifically this channel known as Tech Insider, informed me on how Adidas uses polyester flakes, which is this you see here, which is basically what you get from dehydrating and crushing plastic bottles. After forming an alliance, as I like to call it, with the environmental program known as Parlay for the Oceans, they use these. I will not spoil any information because you need to find it all yourself on my Padlet. And so, with some hard work and dedication, they can turn these polyester flakes into sportswear like this. And so, before I let you go, I'd like to give you some tips to take care of the environment. But before that, I want to tell you some unfortunate consequences of our lack of action when it comes to this issue. In the ocean, there is tons of plastic pollution, as I said earlier, and the tiger sharks are literally being called the garbage cans of the sea due to all the funky stuff they consume, such as tires, cans, license plates, even a medieval suit of steel armor. They have also managed to choke many innocent ocean creatures who just wanted to live their lives peacefully. And my point of view is that this situation should be addressed. Now, let's move on to these tips. Tip 1, whenever you see that blue bin with the arrows on it, don't hesitate to put in your recyclables in there. Tip 2, whenever you're in any wilderness place and you see garbage, don't hesitate to pick it up. Tip 3, if you're bored, invent with recycled materials. If you want more information and other neat stuff about this entire operation, please head over to my Padlet. Now I want to give out some shout outs to all of you for listening and watching, to all my teachers for their continued support, and for all these websites for giving me the reliable information. Thank you very much.
Okay, next we have Bella.
immunity. It's kind of an important topic right now with COVID-19. Hi, my name is Isabella Rasmussen, and at the start of this project, I barely knew anything about immunity. I did not know that we had our immune system had special cells. I did not know that our immune system had special cells that eat germs. I did not know that our immune system actually caused colds and fevers as a way to try to kill pathogens. I didn't even know what a pathogen was. I thought it was a cell that helps food go down the path to the stomach. After studying for just a little bit, my main questions became, how does the immune system function? How does it keep us safe? And what can we do to keep our immune system healthy? How I first became more interested in this topic was when I saw this image. I looked at this image and I said, wow, there's a lot I don't know about the immune system. Like, what the heck's a dendritic cell? Or dendritic cell? To first understand this topic, you need to understand that this topic is kind of like Star Wars in a way. Our immune system is trying to protect us. Like, they're trying to protect the Force from Star Wars, from Darth Vader and the Stormtroopers. I've obviously never seen Star Wars. My first question was a very important question. How does the immune system keep us safe? I interviewed Teresa Marie, a biology tutor, and she told me that the immune system fights off any invader-pathogen that could cause sickness or disease. She told me the immune system has a lot of parts to play. Some of the cells in the immune system signal the alarm that there's a pathogen in the building. Others eat the germ pathogen. If it gets past the cells, blowing toxins that get you sick with colds, fevers, headaches, runny noses, etc. After she explained it, I did some research on my own and found out that a pathogen was how people say germ of different disease. After that, I decided to search up dendritic cell. It's actually not as big a part of the immune system as you would think. It's actually kind of like an accessory cell. Its main function is to process antimaterial. It acts as the messenger between the two parts of the immune system. Oh shoot. Okay. I've learned after studying for just a little bit, to keep your immune system safe, you have to keep yourself. To keep your immune system healthy, you have to keep yourself healthy by following the simple steps behind me. If you want to know more, please visit. Okay. I think the main part of this, I think the most important part that I've studied is that the cells in your immune system actually get you sick instead of any pathogen, because we all think the pathogens get us sick when it's actually the cells trying to protect us. To explain, when a pathogen enters your body, the cells, in like a panic, not knowing really what to do, will send out toxins that get you sick with fevers, runny noses, headaches, popping ears, sore throats, etc., etc. I think this is the most important because we all think that the pathogens get us sick when it's actually our own immune system trying to keep us safe from getting a worse sickness like vomiting, flus, even COVID-19. If you want to know more about this topic, please visit my Padlet to take a survey to see if you have a strong immune system or if you want to know much more about this topic. Thank you for listening. I'd like to thank my teachers for helping me through this topic and Teresa Marie who let me interview her. Thank you. Goodbye.
Good, Bella. And last up, we have Gabby.
I don't need them for my presentation. I love dogs. Actually, Actually, almost everyone does. They're cute and adorable. But do you ever wonder what they are trying to tell you or how they are communicating with you? I surveyed my class and other people around me and found that most people don't know. My main question is, how do dogs communicate and what are they saying? My name is Gabby. As I said before, I love dogs and I have two myself. I've always guessed what my dogs were saying and believed that it was most likely what they would be saying if they spoke our language. I never really asked myself what it meant. So, for capstone, I decided to research how dogs communicate. Originally, what I was primarily researching were the different body language signs. Then, I started to see videos about weird movements, odd behaviors, sleep positions, even ways that they play. Eventually, it became one of my questions too, so I started to watch videos. I learned that dogs curl up next to you, lay on their backs, or show you their backs as a sign of trust. That is one of the main examples. Dogs will also carry sticks on walks, scratch before laying down, or shake their toes. And other different movements for different reasons, such as the undomesticated part of them bringing it into their world because of different body temperatures or because they are preparing for something. As I said before, I was also researching what the different body language signs were. I learned that dogs use their tail, eyes, ears, face, and stance to express themselves. One of the most common ones is, as you probably have guessed, their tail. While I was researching, I found I was wondering why dogs tilt their heads. Now can I ask you this, why do dogs tilt their heads? Nobody actually knows, but none of the theories are that dogs tilt their heads because they are confused. The theories I know are 4. Make a fist with your hand. Now put it on your nose. Then tilt your head. Do you see better? That is basically one of the theories. Scientists believe that dogs tilt their heads to see your body language better. But studies have shown that 50% of dogs with Christian faces, such as pugs, still tilt their heads. So here's another theory. The fluffy outer part of a dog's ear is called a pinny. Scientists believe that dogs with floppy pinny tilt their heads to hear you better. But other scientists believe that it gets even more scientific. The part of a dog's ear that connects to the part of a dog's brain that connects to the dog's ear is called the nucleus ambiguus. This part of the brain also connects to their facial expressions and head movements. So, when a dog is concentrating, he will tilt his head to try to hear you better. This can also encourage head tilting. The last theory that I know is that dogs tilt their heads because they know we like it. They know that they get praise for doing something their owners like. After I researched a lot, I found out that I had the option to interview someone. I chose to interview one of my dog's friends. Her name is Lisa, and she's my dog's favorite dog walker. Lisa has been working with dogs for 9 years now. While I was interviewing her, I learned that at the park they see a lot of dogs romping around and playing happily. But she also sees the occasional fight. In fights, dogs may run under benches, bark, and sometimes even bite. They chase each other and wrestle. Now I would like you to meet Stella the talking dog. Stella talks by pushing buttons that are recorded. By pushing them, she communicates with her owner. Her owner, Christina Hunger, is a speech therapist. She saw that Stella was trying to communicate with her. Since dogs, including Stella, do not develop the same verbal speech as humans, Christina ordered Stella buttons, and Stella began to learn. After I heard about Stella, I thought for part of my capstone, I would make a video of my dog using buttons and see which one could learn faster. As a result of my test, one of my dogs is afraid of it, and the other either pushes the play button because he wants to hear my mom's recorded voice, or because he thinks it's a toy as a result of it being next to the toy box. It is also a little bit possible that he pushes it because he wants to play, which would mean I was actually able to teach him. After I researched a lot and read books and watched videos, I found that many people commented that it was very hard to understand body language, and it's also very important to understand
body language because you will bond better with your dog when you know what your pup is trying to tell you. Then, after researching, I often went home and tried to see body language my dogs were telling me. I found that I did not see many. I have continued researching and I conclude this sentence by saying that it is very hard to understand body language, but it is also important because it will bond better with your dog. If you would like to learn more about how dogs communicate and what they are saying, you can visit my Padlet or my capstone notebook, as well as you can find How Still Learn to Talk by Christina Hunger online. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I would like to thank my teachers for helping me improve my work, Lisa, my dogs, and all others for inspiring me to learn more about them. Thank you.
Parents, thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy that you were able to get to see these, and the students are doing a great job. We have a lot more to go today. Once everyone is done presenting, we will put together some recordings of the videos and we will send them out to you. So you will have this as a memory forever. Thank you so much for joining us and being our live audience.